In this video, we'll be showing you how to begin a Fivetran sync and then check for its status. Let's dive right in. So we'll start off inside of Fivetran and show the connector that we're going to sync inside of our video. So we're going to sync this Google Sheets solution video test. Let's jump over into Shipyard and show how we can kick that sync off. So inside of Shipyard, we want to search for our Fivetran blueprints. And the first one we want to do is execute a sync. So this will start that sync inside of Fivetran. So we'll click that, which is going to pop us up with information on going to our authorization guide to show where you can find your API key and API secret inside of Fivetran, along with your connector ID. I'll close that right now, and you can also see that we have a vessel that's already automatically created when we click that blueprint. So we'll name our vessel execute sync. And like I mentioned before, we need our API key and API secret. I'll grab those and put them in. And then our connector ID also from Fivetran, we put in as well. Down in our inputs, we under our inputs, we also have where we can set up notifications where if the fleet fails or after an on-demand run, we can get an email sent to you as the creator or anyone else you want to add in there. And we also have guardrails that you can set up for number of retries, time between retries, and then runtime cutoff as well. So now that this first vessel is set up and ready to go, we want to go back and create a second vessel here, also under Fivetran, that will check the sync status. What this vessel is going to do is it's going to go back into Fivetran and call the API and see if that sync has been completed or failed. In which case it'll give you that information so that you can act on it inside of Shipyard. So we'll rename this vessel to check sync status. And again, we need to input our API key and API secret. And the connector ID we can leave blank since we are connecting it to the execute sync. And for our guardrails, it's always helpful on the check sync statuses to add a few extra retries, just to make sure you give your connector enough time to finish its sync while it's checking. And then I want to connect those together, and I want them to be connected based on a success. So the last thing we want to do here is name our fleets. So we'll name this Fivetran to Fivetran, start, sync, and check status. Okay, so now that we've named our fleet, we want to go ahead and save and finish. So this is going to take us to a page that's saying that the fleet has been created successfully, and then we want to go ahead and click run your fleet to kick that off. So it's going to take us over to the fleet log page. And so what we just did was we started an on-demand run here inside of Shipyard. We also have two other ways that you can start fleet runs. You can do it using our triggers. We have two types of triggers. We have scheduled triggers that we can schedule based on the hour, the day, the week, or even the month. And we also have webhook APIs that you can use to call to start these fleets as well. And you can see that we're in our fleet log page now. And you can see that our first execute sync vessel is already finished running. I can click into that and look at the output that Shipyard that populates for us here. You can see the environment variables that we set up earlier. The API key and API secret are hidden here so that users can't just come into your logs and look at what your API key and API secret are. And then you can also see down here that the sync has been successfully triggered for the connector with the ID oxymoron ratio here. So let's go back to our Gantt chart, and you can see the check sync status has started. And so it initially failed, but have no fear. What that means is that it just went back and looked, and it's not finished yet. So it's going to wait that 5 minutes, and then it's going to go back and check again. We can look inside of Fivetran, and if I hit a refresh here, you should be able to see, you can see that we had a manual update triggered here at 12:32, so just a minute ago. And so as soon as that sync finishes, Shipyard will grab that complete status, and then that check sync status here will turn green instead of red, unless of course there is an actual failure with the sync, and it will remain red. So we can see inside of Shipyard now that check sync status has been completed and that our fleet has ended with a success. You can see that it took 5 minutes and 48 seconds total. However, inside of Shipyard, you'd only be billed for the 33 seconds that things were actually running, so you wouldn't actually be billed for that wait time in the middle. And if we go back to Fivetran and look and make sure that sync was completed, you can see I have it sorted by the last hour, and you can see that sync started and ended right here and picked up the 71 kilobytes of data here. This is a small Google Sheets table, obviously. So just recapping this video, we went over how to execute a sync and then check the sync status inside of Shipyard. This allows you to connect that to other data software inside of your stack to let things happen downstream after the Fivetran process is complete. If you have any questions about this solution or any other potential solution, use the link in the description to set up a time to chat with our team of data experts. You can go to shipyardapp.com to start building powerful workflows just like this for free. Want to see us tackle more solutions? Check out these related videos.